One of the most common questions we get asked here at Noble Samurai is, how do you create content when you're not an expert in your niche? As I'm sure you know, creating high quality content is now a critical part of generating traffic and building a profitable online business. The only problem is that creating content on a regular basis can be really hard work, especially if you're not an authority on the subject. So in this video, I'd like to share with you how to create incredible content for any niche fast. Our magic bucket strategy that enables you to become an instant authority on any topic, plus the 3 types of content you should be aiming to create each week. When it comes to creating content, you really have 2 options. Option 1 is to take the time and effort to become a world-leading expert in a particular area. However, the only downside to this is that it typically takes in the order of 10,000 hours of painstaking work to reach this level of expertise. Thankfully, there is a much quicker and easier way. Option 2 is to become a commentator in your niche. A commentator is someone who takes careful note of what is going on in a particular niche and identifies and shares the best material that is being produced. So the best way to quickly and easily create content in any niche is to become a well-informed commentator who reviews, summarises and comments on what is happening in your niche. You see, the reality is that traffic flows to wherever value is provided. So if you don't have expertise in an area, you can still create incredible value by curating content created by others and adding your own commentary. In other words, you become the place people go to find the best stuff. Now you might be thinking, that sounds great, but how do I become a well-informed commentator? Well, this is where the magic bucket strategy comes in. Your magic bucket is made up of 3 components. First, your input channels. These are the leading websites, YouTube channels and blogs in your niche. The second component is the magic bucket itself, which is where you capture all your incoming information. In the real world, this is usually a piece of software called an RSS reader, where RSS stands for Really Simple Syndication. And the third component of your magic bucket is your output channels, where you will publish your own content as an informed commentator in your niche. So let's now take a look at an example to see how this works in the real world. This is Amy. Amy is a recently graduated personal trainer who is looking to build a health and fitness related platform on the internet. She is passionate about health and fitness, but she hasn't clocked up her 10,000 hours to be considered an expert. So here's what she does. First, she identifies all her favourite health related websites, YouTube channels and blogs. She then enters these input channels into her RSS reader. The RSS reader she chooses is called Feedly. Now, instead of having to constantly check all her different input channels, Amy can simply check her magic bucket of content each day and quickly and easily stay in touch with everything that is happening in her niche. Then, when it comes to creating her own content, Amy has a fantastic source of material to draw upon. There are 3 different types of content that Amy can create for her audience. The first type of content is direct referrals. This might be a tweet or a quick Facebook post saying something like, "Hey, I just found this great resource on high intensity interval training. You can check it out here." The second type of content is curated referrals. This is where Amy writes a longer Facebook post to summarise or comment on an article or video, and then includes a link to the original content. And the third type of content is inspired content. This is where Amy creates her own article or blog post based on some of the ideas that she has been reading about in Feedly. Just to be clear, this is not copying someone else's article. It is using a number of other articles as inspiration to create her own material. As the old saying goes, If you take inspiration from one article, it's plagiarism. But if you take inspiration from 10 articles, that's research. So each week, Amy checks Feedly and fills up on everything that is happening in the health and fitness niche. She then creates direct referral content, curated referral content, and inspired content to populate her own Twitter account, Facebook page, and YouTube channel. And here's a pro tip. One of the most useful tools you can have in your bag of tricks as a commentator in your niche is called Buffer, which allows you to schedule tweets, Facebook posts, LinkedIn articles, and even Pinterest posts. This means instead of trying to schedule in a special time to create content every day, Amy can set aside a block of time to create a week's worth of content and use Buffer to automatically schedule and publish that content over the entire week. So just to recap, you now know that the quickest and easiest way to create valuable content in any niche is to become a well-informed commentator. You've also seen how to set up your own magic bucket of never-ending content using an RSS reader like Feedly to become an instant authority in your niche and always stay on the pulse of what's happening. And you know that the 3 types of content you should be creating every week for your audience are direct referrals, curated referrals, and your own inspired content.